Hello and welcome to this video. We're going to create this image and we're actually utilize MidJourney AI or AI generated art to create a background to match our theme. So this is a Kali, the Hindu goddess, goddess of the time, destruction, support of life form. It's very interesting character if you read about legends of the Kali. What we've done, we start with our image. So we're going with this image from photo shoot, then we'll retouching, just small Photoshop, and then we'll create a background inside the MidJourney, import and blend all this together. By the way, if you see the sticking tongue, it's on purpose. Just watch video and you'll find out why or what the tongue is and who else using sticking tongue. Copy from Kali, the Hindu goddess. So let's go ahead and start work on this. Okay, so let's go ahead and start work on our image. And will be Kali, the Hindu goddess. Interesting things about Kali, the Hindu goddess, it is she appeared from the Shiva and it was like protector of the living beings. So it's very interesting legend behind of this, that she comes, she destroy evil, and you can see all of this, some little bit maybe too violent in some images that's happening. For me, what was interesting about this, that in many images when she represents with stick tongue, so she actually have the tongue sticking out. And by the way, speak about the sticking tongue, it's even where the Rolling Stones took from there. So it's very interesting because that is inspire all the sticking tongues. And based on this, I was saying, okay, let's go ahead and we'll use it to create with this sticking tongue. And here's some images I photo shoot in a studio on a gray background. Nice, interesting. We have a beautiful model, everything. However, I want to improve something better. And what is a better way to use it? AI render art to compose inside to extend, creating all this beautiful image. So for this, we'll start with one selecting. I'm go ahead and open inside the Photoshop. And because that was shot a raw format, this will open in camera raw. So notice in camera raw, if we open, I'm working with the Adobe RGB color space 16-bit channel. So you may use a different, which is fine as your workflow does. In mine, my camera set for using Adobe RGB color space. So now when you use it, same works flow to all of my application. So what I want to go to do here, it is adjust a little bit on a tone, bring a little bit more details, but it's most important, if you look on the photos that before reference, it's actually like bluish black, so we need to darken skin, create more closer. Well, let's start first. We'll take highlights and reduce highlights, and usually I reduce highlights mostly like right here. You see we have it overshot from the lights. We want to reduce, bring these details. The problem when we do with this, it will flatten a little bit image on the face, which is okay. We'll fix this in a second, and we'll go to bring shadows a little bit up. Be careful with the shadows because it's introduced digital noise and we don't want that. We also want to go down to the detail sharpening and bring about 70-60 for the Canon R5 camera I was using, because using in-camera anti-aliasing filter that I want to compensate for. Okay, next we'll go in luminosity, our color mixer, and we'll add a little bit brightness. Notice right here we go to orange, it will brighten a little bit on the face. And that's what we want. We want restore some of those highlights we lost in the face. But be careful because we don't want to go too much. We don't want touch yellow because it will affect also highlights in the element where we want to them kind of reduce 0. And I think that is about all what I want to do here. Just to be sure, in our object profiles, remove chromatic abbreviations and use it profile corrections as check in. Okay, when we're done process, we go ahead and click open inside Adobe Photoshop. Okay, our first steps is going to retouch and prepare a photo for merging with our background. So first, let's go see what we have. I noticed you know what, I maybe want to reposition, kind of change a bit composition this, and we'll take our cropping tool on the main channel and let's readjust. So I will bring a little bit on the back and slightly at the bottom. So I think around there will be good. Top about right. Maybe, you know what, even I think maybe increase top a little bit higher. Just bring up to her chin. So right there. There you go. Before we actually proceed with this, I want to be sure the content aware it's checked in, because I want the Photoshop to fill up this stuff. By the way, those people who used Photoshop for many years now, familiar with this AI driven content aware fill up. And let's go ahead, press enter. Okay, so this create a great job was to expanding. Next, we're ready to touch up. And first I will prepare model all the way, and I'm adding background, actually creating background inside AI render as a best way to do. We'll look afterwards. So right now, let's go first and touch up on the models. We're going to create a new layer on top. Let's call this, okay, I don't want this. I want just rename. We'll go touch up, name this one. Let's take normal, the spot healing brush, get closer, and usually what I want to do is just touch up small things like right here, just teeny tiny. I think this is usually okay. Smoothness, let's couple elements. Okay, there you go. Okay, we'll leave it as default. Here's nice. Okay, let's zoom out. Like right here, we have a sewing things. Let's go just remove this line as well. We don't necessarily require to do this. It just, I think, a little bit cleaner will look. Okay, let's go back. We have some wrinkles here, and we can actually just go and, you know, remove some of those wrinkles if you feel like. We can do this different tool as well. Usually what I'm more worried, it's this horizontal. Vertical kind of come up okay, but horizontal ones will make a little bit more distract out of attention. There you go. There you go. We don't need to worry too much about this, but it just help a little bit. Okay, I think that's look better. Again, there you go. A little bit horizontal ones. Okay. I think that does look good for the removing. So let's go ahead now. I want to smooth a little bit on the skin. For this, we press Control Shift Alt E, Command Option Alt E. It's take all visible layers and create new. So we'll just go smoothing on this, and for this we'll go filter, noise, dust and scratches, and depending on the size, I'm just 20, probably 20 will work, 20 pixels. Okay, let's click OK. I don't want this image all applied to all of our image, so I hold down Alt or Option and click on the mask, which create a black fillet mask for us. It's meaning everything is hidden. Now we can take our brush, and I want a smaller brush. It's going to be soft, round, and we want, say, opacity about 10 at least. Okay, next we'll switch to the white color, and we'll start brushing in some of that smoothness. Okay, so right here. Be careful with this because it is smooth, remove some of those details. I want to leave it. I want to leave it some texture there, but what I want to do, I want to remove a little bit tone down on some skin texturing, creating more painting effect. Big problem with this, we also lose some of those highlights, so we'll need to restore them in dodge and burn because it's flattened. It's remove all digitalization, but it's also make it look flat, blobby kind of almost. So we'll need to restore that one. Okay, so this is our first. Next, let's add a little bit darker, and we'll do several passes how we'll make skin look darker. Like almost if you look on the skin, you'll notice the skin in many cases even blue represent, you know, it's a very dark bluish color. So it's what we're going to kind of recreate, not necessarily blue, We don't need to create Smurf or some other ones, but we want to create like black blue almost look. So let's go ahead, Control Shift Alt E. So we'll create a brand new layer by combining all of them, Command Option Alt E. And let's call this, I'm dumbing, there you go, first black. Okay, it's our first because we'll create several ones. We'll go to Image Adjustment, go to Black and White. And in Black and White, right here you can see if we take red, will affect dress and hair, but I don't worry about dress, I'll just look on the face of the model. And here's the things, I want to work with them, but I don't want to lose its shape because we don't want to like flatten all the way. So just make a little bit around there, click OK. We don't want to apply everywhere. So for this, we'll go hold down Alt or Option, and again, click on the mask to hide it. And now with a brush, we can start painting in this black and white. Okay, so right there. Usually you can see with yellow kind of, I want to leave it red in. So we'll have it smaller. We could also just select by the color, but many times I found it's not as reliable as I wanted. So just the paint will work very good. Don't worry if you think you're overdone, because we'll go to control this in another ways as well. But this will help us to cover some areas with makeup. Okay, so of course we want to leave lips and red, tongue, lips, red, eyes. So just the skin. Okay, and of course neck. Right here. Okay, let's zoom out. You can see it's already come up. Okay, we have it right there, a little bit darker, and we'll need it darken this probably with dodge and burn a little bit more. Okay, we could select just a red color as well. Okay, just a little bit touch ups. Okay, and of course on the arms. We need legs and arms, so we need to. And the problem is right here with these arms, because makeup wasn't applied, so we actually need quite a bit darken around this area. And we'll apply other effect when we start blending, like overlay blending. The one thing I do recommend to use it neutral, kind of, you can see the background gray, because it's very easy. You don't need mask precisely. Help us to blend and everything. And from creating a lot of compositings, I found actually this kind of mix gray, it's what here, it's worked the best, because it's very easy to have it overlay blending with this and other. Okay, so we'll have it right there, one hand. Let's go with this one. Okay, we'll go down a little bit more. Don't worry if you think it's too black, because we will control opacity of this layer to create. Okay, there you go. And let's go definitely on the legs. We need to remember everywhere. Okay, and notice I increase brush, because here I know this one will be also inside the shadow. But it will help, you know, just remove colorizations away from this. There you go. Okay, let's check. This is what we have so far. Now let's go create additional kind of like almost blue overtone. And for this, I'm going to create a curves, and I'll switch this to the color because I don't need it black and white. Go blue, and we'll add a little bit on a blue. We'll go to the red and add a little bit on cyanish, so just slightly off. Again, you'll notice we apply to everything. We want to take this mask, Control Command I to inverse, and same things what we did before. We can go inside and just paint in a little bit of this coloring. Again, we have a white brush. We can do it this way. The other ways, if you want it, you can always just take this mask that we have it, and just copy the mask over. So we'll apply same mask on all of them. Okay, let me zoom out, preview. So before and after, just slightly, not too much. If you think it's too much mask, remember, we can always just go reduce. So this is one, and I found sometimes when you create multiple masks, this kind of work better. So in this case, we can just go and create a black and white adjustment layer. And we can do same things here. Just apply slightly to the face. Okay, Control Command I to hide and apply more. Okay, so this will be our 2 black. Okay. Okay, let's go right there. And we can start painting. So this way we'll have a little bit more natural look. It just also help us move out an area if I forgot. So in this case I can look. General, I do prefer have it multiple layers because I prefer small kind of adjustments instead one larger, because it's much easier to control that way. Okay, and we want to leave just a little bit colorization in, so it's not just will be black and white, it will be kind of darker effect. And we have it already some bluish, so I will maybe take the blue layer, this one curves color, which is I should rename, and we'll move on top. So like this one we'll call blue, and you know what, we'll just say even blue mark, so I know which one it is. So we can go on top, and let's go this one black and white. Just a little bit adjust here. There you go. And add a little bit more black and white to face. We leave it ice colored. There you go, perfect. Okay. Just by the lips, I think right here is where we have it come a little bit closer almost. Okay, so we're done with this colorization. Okay, right there, just don't like it a little bit. There you go. Let's go next. We're going to add some of the painting effect. For this, we go on the top, Control Shift Alt E, Command Option Alt E. This is kind of all hand keys, but we're using a lot this way. And let's go call hair. So we'll adjust hair in this case. And you know what? Let's go to no color. Just switch for now. And we're going to filter, stylize, oil painting. And in oil painting, we'll have a 10-10, scale 0-1, brush 10. Actually, you know what? Let's go a little bit lower brush details. Like from the side, click OK. I want a little bit more emphasize. This is for the cleanest of the hair. We'll go filter, sharpen, and sharp mask. Let's look on the hair, pop up. Yep, it's what I wanted. Okay, next we'll go to closer to our hair. We don't want to apply this everywhere. So same, Alt or Option, click on the mask to hide. Take the brush and let's start brushing in. So this is, we're going to, you can see how it's cleaning a bit hair, make it like almost somebody took brush stroke and brushed. Then it's what we want. We want this effect of the painting in this case. It's allowed us to clean up by removing those horizontal based noise. So this also will work on the flowers, because flowers is not real, but I found out when you use not real kind of flowers or leaves, this painting tool actually work very well. Add some of those lines. Okay. So let's see what we have so far. I think it's looked good. Next, we needed dodge and burn layer. So we create a new layer. We're going to fill this with 50% gray, normal mode, opacity. That way you can go to just edit, fill this way, and click OK. So it should be absolutely gray. We'll go switch this to the soft light mode. And now we'll have it our brush. Same things, we have it soft brush, 10%. We're going to add some shadows and highlights. So you can see as I'm painting, it's add shadows. I press X to switch between foreground, background, and my one is white and one is black. And this way I can add highlights. And highlights, it would add shapes for us, because shadows and highlights, it's all how we perceive shapes in two-dimensional. And this is two-dimensional image, by the way. It's not three-dimensional. We perceive only three-dimensional because shadows and highlights give it us this illusion. But in reality, this is all 2D. Okay, there you go. So let's go right there. I know sometimes you feel the colors may provide for a shape, but it's colors does not provide for us shapes. Colors provide some additional information, but shapes coming only from luminosity. Okay, so we go right there. Let's adjust it. There you go. Again, I used X key to switch between foreground, background. So wherever I need to do, like these highlights right there. See, just add highlights, add a little bit better. Okay, on a face, so we're going to same add a little bit more depth around here. Let's go depth on the tongue. This will create just almost like a twisty, so we can see that twist. Okay, add shadows, switch to highlights. Let's add highlights on the chin. Smaller highlights will create like specular lighting, creating this little bit more of the shiny effect. That's what we're going after. So if you add a small teeny tiny shiny, you can see it's look a little bit like wet almost. And this again, this is all perception of the lighting. It's nothing to do with, okay, right there. Nothing to do with the real shape of object. We are kind of faking this object of the, okay, right there. Okay, let's zoom out. So this is a face, and you can see this done before and after. You see how much we add shape to this. Okay, same, let's go on whole body. Before and after, you can see we added. So we can also go ahead and add a little bit more on the shape of the body, slightly on the clothes. But this is more environmental, almost. And I separate, I try to create like shape, body is one, and we'll do environmental lighting a little bit later. Okay, let's zoom out. Right here we can see we prepare, I think, our model almost ready all the way. So let's go ahead, create right there, group, and we'll call it retouching. Retouching. Okay, so let's go ahead. Next step, we'll start work on the background. So let's go ahead and start working on the background. And I will like actually generate my background inside MidJourney. You can have a different AI. What I like about MidJourney, it is a resolution, aspect ratio that I can, and also the kind of artistic, it's hard to explain, but this have its own style that I fit quite a bit well. What I was meaning, but quite a bit well, like let's look on this one, and you can see it's a grungy stuff around this, and when we blend with the gray background as overlay, it's work very well. Okay, here's the tips how we're going to create. If we look on our image, you can see it's a gray, and it's a little bit more darker gray, so we want to use it maybe soft light overlay mode for the background. And if we're doing soft light overlay mode, then darker will get a little bit darker and brighter, but because we're closer to the dark, then bright colors will come up better than dark. Also, because it's a goddess kind of distractions, not distractions, but time and all the stuff, we want in a red. So what I'm going to do, if we're going inside the MidJourney, this is what I was using as my line, and you can see it is Indian ornament Kali, we put a name, force of time, historical, tantra, because it's using Kali used for tantra yoga and other things, traditional illustration. It does help if you're going to like Kali and look on some descriptions here. The one thing what I want to focus, it is generated in AI elements of the coloring, ornaments, everything, but without too much figurines, because we have a figure up front. So let's look what come up with. Okay, here's my renders. You're more than welcome to use it if you need it, or download it, or see the string text. And I think some of them come up very good. You can see like this ornament, very interesting. A lot of different, some of them of course have the elements of the person, but some of them is just nice like backgrounds. So we can use it all different. And actually I'm attempt to use it more than one just to try it, see which one will come out better. But we need to select one and use it as our base with masking and other things. So I'm going to, and this is, by the way, it's my feed, my home page. I like to do from home page because I can click and go right down, see what resolution, and download it if I wanted my folder to use. Actually, this one look very nice with the blue color exactly, and blue and red will work very well. So maybe I used this one as well. Okay, so here's another one's nice. One thing keep in mind, sometimes you can have about 2000 pixels. I don't think you can generate more than 2000 pixels. If we look on an image and going to image size, our size is 8000 pixels. As I work on compositing and in other elements, I always like to create a maximum resolution, because this way I can reduce, shrink, all the other stuff. But the problem is with image that we downloaded, we need upscale. I can upscale in a Photoshop, which does okay job, but I found out that with the Gigapixel Topaz, I like how it's work, I like how it's updated. So what we're going to do is take one image, putting inside, for example, okay, let's zoom out, and there you go, there our preview. You can see how much details from original, and we're going up, it's 6 times, let me see, it's 11,000, we're probably going with 4. That one should work better, a little bit easy. And also nice things about gigapixels, that I can do more than one image at a time. For example, I like this image, I want to update another one, and look right here, it's kind of bring them together. This is one more image. We can select all the different images, and I'm just going to kind of drag and drop those images that I think may work. And of course, the one problem with MidJourney, you know, when it's created, it creates so many nice images, like hard to choose which one I wanted. But I will explain in a second which one I think we're going to use and the reason why. Okay, so right here, this is upscale. One thing, if you're not familiar with Gigapixels AI, what it does is utilize special AI engine on the back to analyze image and upscale without losing, actually increasing detalization even better. Like on your left side, you can see what we have. Let me come closer. See how it's a fuzzy. This is the original image. We increase. Look on this portion, for example, no detalization. If you go over, you can see how it's ad generated. So it's analyze actually image and creating. So this, I love this AI that work with there. And of course we select, now we can go ahead, click save 10 images. This is actually saved in directory, and I want to source directory, so we'll go right there, same place where we got it, preserve file format, automatic, and let's go ahead. And you notice right there, this image is uploaded and it's upscale all of them. This is another big plus because I don't need worried about individual images. You just drag, update which one you wanted, and it's going to process very fast, upload it. So in this case, when we're going inside our Photoshop, we will have these images matching. So we won't have it any blurry. We have a sharp, nice image that match exactly the resolution of our photo. Okay, so that's done. Let's go ahead in our Photoshop. I'm going to select one of those image that we created with MidJourney and import it. Just overall, let's look one more time for those who interested what string was created. If we click open, you can see right here, I used the Indie Ornament, Kali, Forest of Time, Historical, 100. Notice I separate by commas because I want each of these will be their own weight. So Battlefield, photorealistic, art station, you don't necessarily need photorealistic. Battlefield, it would add this little bit smoke around, and photorealistic, so it stay a little bit away from illustrations. Work very well. Also, I use it like person, people. This is exclusions when I don't need it. So if you notice what I mean by exclusions, it is no person, no people, because I don't want person there. And my aspect ratio, so it's match my photo that we've done. I also render in create in two different ways. One is a standard classic V3 and another one's new test upscale. Okay, so I'm going ahead and open one. I just will open one for example, and you can see right here we have it add like gigapixel standard and give me resolution, which is kind of very nice to know. But also I'll just go drag and put on our image. Notice we have it about same size, just a little bit off, so I'm going to scale. There you go. This is our image, and because it's overlaid, we want to switch to the soft light. Notice what's going on. Soft light, you have a very good kind of overlay. And sometimes I like traditional compositing when I mask out and create all bright. But in this case, I want to focus on my character. And because I want to focus on my character, I want background visible, but I don't want it to stand out too much. So this one will be my first background. And of course, it's a smart object, so I won't affect it. But I want masking. We'll go and create new mask. And let's go to actually Control Command I inverse. You can also mask if you press Alt and mask, it will just create black mask for you for default. With our, we want to brush, same things what we did before, soft round, 10% opacity, white color. And we can start painting in the mask. Sometimes if it's a little bit too slow, you can go like to 30% opacity. That will speed up. Or in some cases, you can even go to the 100% opacity and just paint in, because it's soft light. That should affect very well and easy for us. Remember, we don't need necessarily go 100%. We can always switch, but it does help us going closer. So I'm going increase closer to the hair, and this is look on the hair. What's happening? It is very beautiful. What I like the do with soft light, because blending, character blending inside, very nice. Look how it's blend with the coloring, perfect. Okay, and we go closer. Right here where we overlay a little bit with the arm, you can press X, make smaller, and just go closer right there by arms. But we have a little bit this color spill almost, so it will help us to go over. Again, X key will help you to go back and forward. If we do traditional, I will probably going to use the pen tool, but with overlay, if you little bit step over, it still be okay, because it's having this almost like purpose, like look right here. If we go over, it's having like color spill. It's what we wanted. We actually want a little bit go over, because then it start blending by colors as well, which is very nice. I mean, a very natural look in this case going. Okay. There you go. Let's go a little bit inside here. Same look even on a close. See how if I go over with a soft light, it's blending very well. Okay, let's go a little bit under arm. Again, we can press 1 to reduce opacity, and a top keyboard will work 1, 2, see it's 20, 0 will be 100%. So it's kind of nice and very fast way to do. So if I want, I can press 1 and go very soft by hand, or 5, 50% and jump faster. It's actually helpful. When you work with Photoshop, I also says try to remember at least one shortcut per session. So soon you'll know Photoshop very, very well. So you won't need, and shortcuts does help very fast going over. Look on this, how soft light work very well over. Okay, same with feet. We can come a little bit closer. If it's too much spill, remember you can switch X and go back and just remove it, but leave it just a little bit, because right here just little bit, it's almost will create this like coloring spill back on the body. This is what we wanted. We want this beautiful effect. Okay, same by the feet. See how they're going around. If you're using wider brush, you want to use it low opacity, maybe like 5 opacity. You can increase, will be kind of similar. So what effect, you can go a little bit faster if you want it. Okay, let me go over. So like a dress, let's even go over a dress, and you can see now it's a transparency coming through, so it's almost look very well blending together. Okay, we'll go right there. Okay, let's go 10. Again, I'm just going very fast over edges. Okay, this is foot is up. And this is help us if we go closer first, then when we go out we can increase size and go a little bit faster without worried step over the lines. So this is only reason why I like to do this way. Okay, same look right there. There you go. Okay, almost done. We got right there. Okay, we have it a little bit on the top. Let's zoom out. I love how it starts blending. Very nice. I'm not sure about coloring, but I'll show you in a second what we can do with coloring. Okay, let's zoom in closer. Set like 30% opacity right here on the hair, because I don't want too much, but I want to have it hair coming. And we'll just add. Okay, let's go with 80%. Okay, and this is edge. It's almost look like color spill, which is precisely it's what I want on this color spill. See how it's going over? It's creating very natural. And if you have it like chrome, other things will be almost like reflection. So we go over even. There you go. See, it's creating almost like reflection look. Okay, I know it's take a little bit time, and in some cases I'm doing a little bit sloppy job, so I may come back after to clean up. I just want to show you techniques, so you can try by yourself, find. Again, you can use a pen tool, just isolate. This will work as well, but this way feels more as a painting to me. And most important, it's actually blend with a color on the edge a little bit better, because we always can go to one, just right here, just with one going a little bit over, smooth out. See, the one is good. One, what I was meaning, opacity, 1. So right here we have all opacity, full opacity going. Okay, let's go right there. There you go. I think we're almost done. Okay. There you go. Let's look out. So look how it's going. Very good. I love it. Okay, if you think it's too strong, we have this ability to see, we have it opacity. We can just reduce slightly opacity, which is kind of nice, because if we don't want blend or very fast, we can just go maybe around that area. There you go. It's look way better. But here's another thing plus what I like to do this way. So let's go ahead and take one other image. We'll put it over. So what if I decide to create different? I'll go scale a little bit bigger. Okay, let's press enter. Now on this layer where we have it mask, hold down Alt or Option, click on the mask, and as you drag, you can see there's two arrows, one dark, one white. So what it does, it's copying. So now look what's happening. We instantly have it another, so we can have it this or this. So that way I can go and see which I wanted, which background I wanted. So let's go ahead, upload this background. Oh, this one kind of nice. Let's have it blue, and the blue should stand very good with the dress. So same Alt or Option, drag, put it there, and soft light. See, now we have it different look. So this is a little bit tip now about what I figure out how it's a better way kind of to go matching stuff. It is, you want to have it the ground a little bit more pronounced. So for example, look how ground right here. I want to go around your head, so around this area, it's where I want to place it, because this way I have center and foot kind of matching ground. So you don't want to have it something on a ground that resemble like straight line, then it won't fit properly. So we want to find some image that is work a little bit better with the ground. Example, so let's go ahead, like we have this image, yeah. If I have this image, let me show what's happening. Okay, and we're going actually just a little bit more wide. I don't think it's wide enough. There you go. That is wide enough. And if we're going to soft light right here, you see how top little blur and bottom adjust. Okay, if we're going, see how it does not match on the bottom because we don't have it. If we take this image, okay, right here, this image, if we take and we convert, rotate, that will be a little bit better because we have less details on the top, bottom and more on the top. I still probably won't use this, but just as example, you can see what's happening. So you want to be sure that I found the image that you want to select. Okay, it's need to be like almost no details or low on the bottom, more matching ground, and middle like with this image on the top. Okay, so let's go ahead. It's overlay soft light. I think I like soft light better. Yeah, let's go soft light, and we can run this one. That one look nice as well. We need to remove the text right here, definitely. And in some cases, you know, uncheck this link. So in this case, mask stay along, and I can take and adjust. See, now mask is there, but I can position. For example, I can put it like around your head, creating more as an aura or something. And this is another thing, because if you find some maybe like aura work better, like for example right here, let's go select this image. So like for example, we can put this image right there, and you know what, Alt copy again, and you can see how this order may work better. So we can go right around your head, like around there. Let's go to just make it bigger. There you go, like almost, you know, around goddess aura. And switch to the soft light, and there you go. We have an interesting effect kind of applied around. I don't know which one, you know, I like both of them. I like these as well. Actually, you know what, on this may be better if we bring this little bit up as well, like maybe around that area. Okay, let's uncheck. Let's uncheck on the mask so I can reposition and mask still be here. And we T, Control T, Command T. So we can do that way, increase a little bit. And so we can position right there. So yes, I think this is better. I like that one. Okay, so we can preserve if we need it. Let's go call it test. Next, we want to global illumination to do. Let's first create layer, and we'll call it clouds. You can call clouds, smoke. It's just particle effect. So we'll go with the white, take our brush, right click in a brush. We're going to use it different ones. Brushes. I like Ron's powder. You can, they purchase one. You probably can find free, but I just like quality of these brushes. We just need to add a little bit more mist to this right here. Let's undo those ones. I'll go hold down Alt and sample coloring, and we want to be sure we 100% opacity, and just put a little bit around. See how it's creating a little bit kind of messy look, a little bit noise, but overlaying with this color make it look, and we want to be sure it is on a soft light. Okay, there you go. So we'll add a little bit more noise. Let's go sample darker color. Just create a little bit this noise. Okay, let's go zoom out. Another things also, we can create a new layer, and let's go to create clouds or smoke clouds. What I want, fog. Let's go in around fog, and we'll just select. This one will work. 0, increasing, and you can see it's kind of like this is darker, and I do like kind of almost sampling around a little bit, different colors. Okay, again we want to put this in a soft light. Name fog. Let's go create new layer. In this layer we're going to fill. Edit, fill, 50% gray, normal mode, 100% opacity, and it's a global dodge and burn. Okay, we'll switch this dodge and burn mode to the soft light. Take our brush. We want black and white, so because we have it brighter or darker, soft round, 10% opacity, and we'll start with the black. You can see we'll just add a little bit shadows, like almost vignetting. And when we come closer to face, we can make white and just add a little bit more right here. If you want, you can add almost like, you know, strikes going out of the face. Remember, because it's a goddess, so we can add brightness a little right there. Okay, let's go zoom out a little bit bigger. Okay, right there we can focus on the face. Okay, again switch to the black. X key, it's help you switch between black and white foreground and background in this case. Okay, a little bit more dark shadows. Let's preview what we have it. Okay, let's take a little time right now to catch up, and you can see we have it before and after. This is more environmental, so I can say they just focus a little bit more on the face. You can take a little bit down. Okay, next things, I want to create noise or grain, and the reason is we're creating grain because the background is one resolution, the model is another. We add the smoothness, so we playing a little bit with different type of the grain here. We want to be sure the grain is similar, so we create a new layer. We're going to fill with 50% gray normal mode. Going to filter, noise, add noise, just 6%, 5% should work just fine. Uniform monochromatic, okay, and switch this to soft light. Okay, so what it does for us, if we look closer, you can see right here, you see how the noise going through everything before, and you can see some smoother, some will not, and after it's add just extra this blending uniformity to this. Okay, next thing what I want to do is add a little bit more color correcting to this effect. For this one, we can go to use it. Let me show actually different ways. So one, what I like it's create new layer, and I like this plugin called Filter Forge. Plugin by itself, it is not free. However, the thousands and thousands filters inside, they are free, which is kind of very nice because you can update new ones. And I create a bunch of plugins for this, so you can download them. They're all free. And one what I like to use, it's this what I call photo filter, because it does create nice coloring, very easy, very fast way to do for me. So you can see a lot of presets, and like I want bluish kind of color, just apply, click OK. And this is one way to do it, and I'll show you how we can do different ways as well that applied. Okay, and right here we have our filter. Let's go to, well, just a little bit like this. Another way you can do is going to and create adjustment curve layer. And curve layer, we want to switch to the color blending mode. Then we're going to take blue, take this and bring, okay, actually, yeah, let's do the bottom, leave it up. It will have it cold on a blue and warm on the middle. So we can go like right there around. Okay. Next, we can go to red channel and bring down cyan. So it's just, you can see it's kind of like scenic colors, a little bit thinner on the dark. If you want, you can create this way. And of course, another ones I always like to do, it's called selective colors, adjustment layer. And then I like to go like black. And you can see we take black. I don't want total crush, so we'll go maybe -1, just slightly off. We'll take on the blacks, and we have it yellow or blue. So we want colder in the dark, so we'll take a little bit on the blue, little bit in the green, and we can play just like a little bit in the cyan. Okay, next we'll go to the neutral. In neutral, we want actual warmer. We want to take this a little bit too yellowish, again one to the green, and we can go to the red, except I like skin. Look at her skin. I think we want to go, remember, bluish, so we'll go like 2 on the skin. Let's go on the whites. This is our white highlights, and highlights we'll just add a little bit warmer. Actually, we want to play with this color, warmer, cold environment. Okay, so right here we have it. Again, all teeny tiny adjustments. We don't need that big dramatic adjustments, just little adjustments. And one more things we missing from this image, we needed actually put it name. And MidJourney photography. So here's the things what I usually do, and it's up to you. When I make my name, I put it on the side, and I like when this name hardly visible, so people who want it, they found, they see it. But this is my main attraction, the model, what I created. This is my main. I don't want to create here funny things, because recently I was in one gallery and I saw people does like this way. And it's, again, it's all personal choices. But you know, when people do like this and they put a sign like right there, I understand they may be proud of the signature, but it is take all attention from image. We have its signature here. So it's up to you what you do. It's your personal decision. Personally, I prefer this teeny tiny hiding name for those who are interested, but keep it main subject and scenery, versus just take blob your name on the middle of the photos. So okay, right here what we created, and let's go just to take our overlay. So I'm going to select backdrop. Let's go this backdrop. Okay, and we'll go zoom in. And here's what we have before. This image kind of we started. Remember, we extended a little bit canvas, but general, this is what we started. Then we retouch model, and then we add background that we render inside the MidJourney. So you can definitely see power and potential of AI render art, because you can play, you like it, don't like it, but it's a great tool when you put it together inside. By the way, you can also have it plug in that you can directly do stable diffusion render inside Photoshop. And I have a video about this. I'll put a link up so you can go check how you can create from inside the Photoshop with stable diffusion with AI. But in this case, I was rendering separately in MidJourney, not stable diffusion in this case, and upscale and put it in our image. Hopefully you find this video interesting. If you like it, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, let me know what you think, create your own art and share. And I appreciate all your help and support. Have a fun day.